pretty close, so I'm going to walk most days, but one day I'm going to try to go from Niles to Benton Harbor and back.
I live in Coloma, about 20 miles north of St. Joe, so I'm going to do the Berrien bus place-to-place pickup. And when I can't do that, I'm going to try and call friends and get a ride.
I live in Stevensville, so I plan to take the bus from Meyer, do a little bit of walking, and probably do quite a bit of phone a friend.
Well, I'm going to ride my bike.
Sometimes the plans did not work out, so we phoned some friends and had great conversations about transportation along the way.
We just had a meeting with about a dozen manufacturers and employers this week, and the number one barrier for employment in Berrien County is lack of public transportation. And what we're finding with a lot of our companies is they're now turning down contracts, they're changing their shifts, they're doing all sorts of creative things. There is a structural problem with getting people connected and getting people not only to work, but it impacts people's quality of life too. If you can't make it for medical appointments, if you don't have access to the kind of health care that you need.
So it's 10 minutes after my bus was supposed to get here. I called Berrien Bus and they said he should be here. They're not here.
Some, I would say, is driver's license. Not sure what our judicial system was thinking, that when you don't pay your fines and costs, we suspend your license. Because how do they get back and forth to work without a license? So they continue to drive if they do have a car, continue to drive illegally, which adds more fines and costs.
This afternoon, but I made it in about 40 minutes, which was just 5 minutes longer than this morning.
So getting to and from work is always a problem for them. So for instance, as an example, we just had a young man that just got done with our program. He got a full-time job, was in Niles, making good money, got transportation from a friend, going back and forth, worked good for a month and a half, then he lost his job because of no transportation because the friend went to jail.
So I got a ride to the YMCA, and now I'm walking to where I think I can get another ride that will get me home. It remains 93 degrees.
Oh, you can pick me up? Oh, thank goodness. All right, I'll see you. Oh, in and out. Okay, thanks. Bye. Berrien Bus forgot to pick me up. Not really sure why. Can't reschedule until tomorrow for another ride. I called about 3 people and finally I got my friend Sarah, and she's gonna come pick me up, give me a ride to work. As it is, looks like I'm going to be at least 2, maybe 3 hours late getting to work this morning.
Well, I was saying we have 21 or 22 people in the building today working, and there are probably a total of 6 vehicles in our parking lot, because that's how many people either don't have reliable transportation, don't have their own transportation, rely on friends or carpooling or whatever.
So I just finished my hour-and-a-half appointment. I need to go to Walmart now. There's supposed to be a bus coming to pick me up in 10 minutes. Decided to walk over to the Benton Harbor post office instead. I've seen 5 dial rides go by and they've all gone this way. Looks like there's a bus that's supposed to be there in about 15 minutes. So I made it to the post office. There's actually a bus sign stop here. No bench, no protection from the weather. So it's a good thing I don't need to catch the 1:30 bus back to Niles because it is 12:50 and I just got to Walmart. They canceled my bus, so the next one is supposed to be here in about 20-30 minutes. So I just had a guy pull up and offer me a ride. They canceled my 1:30 back to Niles. The soonest they could reschedule me was 3:30. Finished another 5 crossword puzzles. The bus should be here in 15 minutes. So I'm finally back in Niles. If I had my car from Niles, it would have taken me probably about 2 hours. Instead, it took me 8.5.
They were amazingly resilient. So they would organize little carpools. They would sort out how to make the dial-a-ride system work. Some used Berrien bus, and some rode their bikes, and some walked. And so they just kind of figured out, okay, how can I make this work? The part of the dilemma, though, was all of those plans could just go to the wayside because someone's car didn't start, their bike had a flat tire, it was 10 degrees below zero, so they were all very, very tenuous at best.
Stressful.
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 There's no sidewalks in this town, but the people on the bus were really nice and everything was super clean.
It was very hot. There aren't very many bike lanes. And by the time I got here, I was pretty sweaty.
People who schedule their lives around transportation must be time management wizards.
We learned that the people struggling with transportation issues are strong and dedicated. And we learned that the service providers are doing the very best with the resources that they have. And we learned that this is a systemic issue, and we owe it to the people in our community to make it better.